everyone. I am April Lehman, and I am a Wise Skies intuitive, and I'm excited to be taking over Free Tarot Friday. Yay! My name is April. I'm a Wise Skies intuitive, and I'm here to do Free Tarot Friday. This is my first Facebook Live, so sorry if it's a little bumpy in the beginning. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you I've got two little dogs wandering around, so you may see them in and out of the frame behind me. But welcome to my living room. I'm going to do something different today. I just got this new deck that I have been wanting for a while. It's called the Deck of Character. And it's a really cool way of kind of understanding, asking questions, and getting insight into what's going on in your world, while also really practicing your own intuition. So anybody can use this deck. It is not tarot specific. It's just a whole kind of new way of intuiting your own answers. And the way it works is you have three categories. You have characters, places, and tools. And so I'm going to go through every sign of the zodiac and pull one card from each category, and then I will interpret it for you, but I'd love for you to comment on your thoughts and give feedback, because this is the first time I've used this deck in a group setting like this. So let's start with Aries. We're going to shuffle each category and see what's going on in the world for our fire sign. Our first sign of the zodiac, the babies of the zodiac. We love our Aries. Love that fire energy. Okay, we've got character shuffled. I'm going to shuffle places. And then I'm going to shuffle tools. Clearing for Aries. So we need to ask a question, and so for today what I'm going to do is just ask for everybody, what do our Aries folks need to know? So we're just going to leave it open-ended like that. You can use this for any question, and there are interpretations of these cards online if you ever do want to buy this deck, but the whole point is to just let your intuition guide you. So I'm just going to intuit what we're being told today. So characters for Aries, I get the Love Goddess, amazing. And then for place, the Mountains. And tools, the Ruler. Okay, so this to me is lean into pleasure. Right now, this is a time to really explore your own sensuality, your sexuality, maybe loving yourself, giving yourself an extra dose of self-care this weekend. Really lean into pleasure and what lights you up, what brings desire, and what a better place to do that than in nature, in the mountains. I think about the mountains as not just a beautiful place to be. Mountains are things we climb, things we scale. You know, we talk about the metaphor of, like, you know, scaling that mountain and it being a challenge. So maybe this is about looking at or challenging your own perspective. Instead of looking at that mountain as a challenge, think about how beautiful is it that I get to be walking this path. And we have a little goat here, and we know that mountain goats are incredibly agile, and they love to play in those high places. So maybe just, you know, lean into that ability to relish the challenge, tackle it, lean into it, enjoy it for what it is, and take it as a good thing. And then our tool here is a ruler. So when you think about a ruler, I think about like a measuring stick. How are we measuring up? How are we creating a system to track? It's very linear. It's very, you know, exact. So I would just look at places in your life where maybe you need to bring in an element of preciseness, of ways that you can be more analytical, and don't get into the comparison game. So stay away from, you know, how you measure up against somebody else's journey. This is your path to walk. So let's get rid of comparison. But how can you create your own system that you can track yourself. Maybe during this time, during this mountain scaling season, you need to look for ways that you can create your own system of measurement that's unique to you, that feels correct for you, and not look at what anybody else is doing. All right, so that's what we have for Aries today. I'm going to shuffle for Taurus. See what we have for our Taurans today. What do they need to know? What do they need to understand? What would be good for them to hear? Just asking for some insight. I love getting a new deck, but then there's always that issue of like slippery cards that stick together, and so there's always that break-in period. I love my tarot decks that I've had for a long time, and they just feel like they're part of my hand when I have them. These are pretty slippery. Okay, clearing for Taurans. Taurus, what do we need to know this weekend for our Taurus friends? So character, we have the Explorer, place, an island, and the tool is a gift. Okay. You can just ignore this craziness. So, Explorer, let's start here. All right, where in your life are you exploring? Where are you tackling that uncharted territory? Where are you pushing the boundaries? Where are you going where no man has gone before, or woman? Thinking about kind of how you're bringing that explorer energy into your world. Where can you get curious? Where can you push yourself out of your comfort zone? Can you bring in that explorer spirit into whatever situations you're facing right now? And then we're going to go to the place, island. Remember, no one is an island. Everything you do has an impact on other people. And also, thinking about an island is a place of retreat where you can kind of get away. Maybe you need to explore areas without, the noise of everybody else in your world. Maybe you need to just kind of go off on your own and get some clarity, get some insight, get some downloads. But don't stay there. We can't be an island forever. We need community and we need support. So if you're someone who's really good at being alone and trying to tackle everything alone and being that lone explorer, remember to bring others along with you and maybe invite them in on your journey. And then your tool that will help you do this is a gift. So you, whether that's giving a gift to yourself, maybe it's even booking a trip to an island and letting that be, your early Christmas gift to yourself, your holiday gift, whatever, but thinking about ways that you can be a gift to others and, give that generosity back to yourself as well. Taurans love the pleasure and the, all of the good things that life has to offer. So lean into that, and maybe just, whether that's like, you get a specialty coffee this weekend, do something, do a little splurge for yourself that feels good, that feels aligned. All right. We are done with Taurus, and we're going to move on to Gemini, the twins. So clearing the decks for Gemini, asking for insight. What do our Gemini friends need to know this weekend, this season? Just asking for insight and clarity and some good juju for Geminis. Okay. All right. Character. We have a baby angel. I love the drawings on here. They're kind of weird. A baby angel. The place is the world. So the world is your oyster there. And the tool is a Band-Aid. All right. So let's start with baby angel. All right. What's going on with this? A baby angel. What comes to mind when you think about a baby angel? So I think about like a cherub. I think about Renaissance paintings. These babies are my baby angels, but they're not being angels right now. So where do we have that innocence and that kind of angelic being? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Girls. All right, I'm going to hold her down here. Where do we have that innocence? Where can we invite that beauty, that art, that creativity into your life, really leaning into just, that angelic, all the angelic vibes. Let's think about what that means to you. And then as far as place, we've got the world. So this just, calls to mind, of course, the world tarot card. The world is your oyster. The whole world is at your disposal. So where are we bringing that innocence, that beauty, that optimism, that just that sacredness into the world around you? And if you want to just think about, the world is huge, but what does your world look like right now? Where could you bring in some of this energy into your space? Whether it's your home, whether it's just your community, whatever that looks like, really exploring that. And then as a tool, we have a Band-Aid. So this is an indicator to me, this is twofold. So yes, we need to get some healing. Maybe this youthful optimism and this angelic energy is going to bring some healing to your world. But also remember that a Band-Aid is like a temporary fix. It's not a long-term solution. So we need to get healing at the root level, not just, stick a Band-Aid on it and move on. So maybe in the moment, it's okay to be like, all right, I'm going to put a Band-Aid on this and I'll deal with it later. But don't forget to come back around and actually deal with it. I also think about the world as, rotating on its axis, and everything is cyclical. The seasons cycle through in 365 days. We have a full year. So where are you rotating? Where are you spinning? Where are you seeing patterns? And maybe that's another kind of interpretation of how to approach that world card and see, where are these cycles happening? Maybe I need to get some deeper healing to break the cycle and make sure that these patterns don't keep continuing. All right, so that's for our Geminis. We're going to move on to Cancer. So clearing the deck for Cancer. What do our Cancer friends need to know? We're going to invite insight and wisdom for our Cancers, our crabs, our ocean lovers. All right. Shuffling the tools. Okay. All right, so Cancer. Let's start with a character. We have a drunken sailor. So that's pretty funny. You see, he's having a moment there. Okay, and then for places, we have a rainbow. And tools, we have a lasso. As soon as I see this, I think of the song, "What do you do with a drunken sailor?" That sea shanty. So this may be, we're a little out of control. There is some wildness, some debauchery maybe in your world, Cancers. It's funny also, we've got these crabs who love salt water, and sailors are also, on the ocean most of the time. So definitely some alignment there. So let's look at where things feel, so extreme we're to the point of being sick. Where are we out of control? Where's there some excess? And to that, let's bring some light. Let's bring some peace. Let's bring some inclusion. If you think about what the rainbow represents, in the Christian world, it's God's promise. And, in the LGBTQ world, it's about inclusion. It's about everyone's accepted here. So maybe we just need to accept where we are, bring in some maybe diverse perspectives, maybe open your heart up a little bit to what the universe is trying to show you, and let's wrangle it, go after it with that lasso. This is about, riding hard and grabbing what you want and pulling. This is kind of an aggressive card. So instead of just approaching it in a nonchalant, la 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 way, we need to take a little bit of control here and get some energy behind whatever situation you're facing, any area that feels out of control, that feels wonky, that feels off, that isn't lighting you up, that isn't bringing you the healthy kind of balance that you need. Let's get some energy behind this and go after it with that lasso. All right. So that's Cancer. We're moving on to Leos. Our Leo friends, I am a Leo rising, and I live with 2 Leos, so there's a lot of lion energy in my house. So I relate a lot to the Leos. All right. So just asking for insight for Leos. What do they need to know right now going into the weekend? What can we give them as far as insight and clarity? Let's go, Leos. What do they need to know? All right. Perfect. Okay, character. We have the mother. Places. We have the circuits. And tools. We have breath. Okay, I absolutely love this. So if you think about a mother, yes, she's the nurturer. She's also the keeper of all things. She's the finder of lost shoes. She's the maker of lunches. She is just that, I've got it all under control kind of energy. But a lot of times our lives, feel like a circus. And a lot of times part of being a mom is wrangling and just being that ringleader, that circus ringleader. So thinking about ways in your life where you are the keeper, you are in control, you have to be responsible, not only for the nurturing and the comforting and the well-being of everyone, but you're the one that holds it all together, the glue. And, in the midst of that, it can feel really chaotic. So where in your life do you feel like you're in charge? It's total chaos. It's overwhelming. Remember to come back to your breath. Your breath is life force energy. This is the core, the essence of who we are. The breath also looks so much like the wind, like spirit. So reconnecting with yourself, with spirit. Maybe what you need this weekend is just some quiet time where you breathe. Maybe this is some yoga. This could be just a mindfulness exercise, even if you just lock yourself in a closet for 5 minutes and catch up with your breath. This is where you can really start restoring balance to the chaos of the circus. Circuses can be really fun, and they are fun. They are, it's 2 sides of one coin. The chaos and the excitement can be wonderful, but it can also be really overwhelming. So maybe you just need to decide, are you in the stands enjoying the circus, or are you, out of control, or stuck in a situation that feels overwhelming and out of control? So just ask yourself, how does this, what is your own interpretation? What are you getting from these cards? I'd love to hear how these are hitting all of you, especially our Leos. Okay, so moving on to Virgo. Yay, our Earth Queens. Loving that Virgin Goddess energy. All right, shuffling for Virgo. What do these folks need to know this weekend? What insight can we give them? What can they learn today and take into the weekend with them? Okay, here we go. We've got the Knight for our character. Okay, our place is Resurrection. That is really cool. I haven't seen this one yet. Resurrection. And then our tool is the compass. So let's start with the character, our Knight. So Knight in shining armor, we're thinking the rescuer. We're thinking the person that charges up the hill, that goes into battle. We also think chivalry. And so, hey now, where are we? Where are we? Standing in our integrity. How could we be true to ourselves? How can we be true to a calling? Knights are very much, they don't have their own sense of agency. They are at the disposal of a king. So they are the battle, they're the warriors for, someone else's agenda. So maybe that's almost like a more negative way to interpret it. Where can you be in your own integrity and fighting your own battles instead of charging into war for somebody else? Like, let's just do a level set here and check. Make sure that you are fighting battles that are yours to fight and not engaging in someone else's war. At the same time, like I said, chivalry, integrity, checking your integrity. Are you in your integrity? Are you following your own internal code of what's right for you? And then as far as resurrection, this is all about being reborn, new life. You know, there's always a second chance. Just because you miss something the first time doesn't mean you won't get another chance to bring it back up. It also is a little spooky, you know, thinking about coming up on All Hallows Eve and all of that with rebirth, regeneration, connecting with past loved ones. You know, what things are coming up out of the grave that need to stay dead. You know, some things just need to stay dead. This is past issues, trauma, shadow work, all of that. So kind of looking at, yes, we always get a second chance. Some things need to stay dead. You know, what resonates with you right now, what's connecting with you. And we've got this beautiful tool of the compass. So you've got a guide. You know where you're going. You have a system. You have a guidance system. You have a way, an instrument to check that you're on the right path. So use those tools, whether that's tarot for you, whether that's meditation, yoga, like we mentioned before. You know, where can you be in, where can you check in and use those tools? Don't forget about them because they're there for a reason. They're there to help you. Amazing. And I swear, these dogs are never this crazy. Of course, it's only when I'm doing a reading. I often, will have to stop a reading or, quietly, usually the client doesn't know, and, lock them up because they're perfect angels when I'm not on a call. But as soon as I am, they decide to go crazy. So I apologize for the circus that I'm living in at this moment. All right, we are clearing for Libra. We just did Virgo, clearing for Libra. All right, asking for some insight for our Libra friends. What can we give them today? What do they need to know? All right, characters. We have the devotee, place, the club, and our tool is the cauldron. So this is really interesting. I love it. So devotee. This is someone who, is devoted, is passionate, is someone who is really focused on paying homage. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me see what's going on. This is Livy, and she's the one who's crying. So I'm just going to hold her. Sit. This is ridiculous. Get it together. Get it together, people. Okay. Like I said, someone who's devoted, paying homage to something. All right, and it's happening in the club. So this is fun. So the club is all about party, play, have a good time, dance it out, just dance your problems away when you're feeling down. So maybe don't take yourself so seriously. We don't need to just be on our knees all the time. Sometimes we need to dance, and sometimes we need to party. What's under there that you're crying about? It's okay. And then our tool is the cauldron. So let's get into the kitchen and make some magic. Whether that's, playing with some spells, doing some cooking, literally make some soup. Play around with that. Look at how we can mix things together and play around with, these are kind of opposite energies. And so maybe we need some alchemy to kind of merge and bridge the gap. Maybe we need to not be two sides of these extremes here, but let's play around with mixing it up and find a happy medium. Just experiment a little bit. I love the idea of going into the kitchen and cooking up some magic. Also think about ways that you, can just get into that alchemy mode. In the Alchemist card in Tarot, they always say, you have all the tools at your disposal. You have all the elements at your disposal. You just need to use them. So instead of focusing so much on what you have or don't have, maybe just start mixing it up, experimenting, getting a little witchy, and having fun with it. Okay, cool. All right, so that's our Libras. We're moving on to Scorpio. And like Tiffany, I am a Scorpio. So I'm going to go ahead, y'all bear with me. I'm going to actually all right, come with me. Okay, so let's just hope that they don't cry this whole time. All right, so clearing the deck for Scorpio. Like I said, I'm a Scorpio sun sign, just like Tiffany, although I'm not a double Scorpio like she is. So I've got a little more diversity in my chart, but I do have a lot in Scorpio. So these readings always hit real hard for me whenever she does the Scorpio. I'm excited to read today for a Scorpio. So just clearing the deck, asking for insight. What do our Scorpios need to know today? Okay, we've got the angsty teen character. The graveyard, very Scorpio for places. Oh, and the cauldron again for tools. So this is fun. All right, so angsty teen. We think of like being rebellious, being wild, being rebellious for the sake of being rebellious, not actually because we have any fully formed ideas in our head yet. It's all still it's forming. We're in those formative years. I think about the angsty teen as like drama, 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 like everything is the end of the world, everything is so extreme. So maybe let's like bring some balance in and realize that what feels so overwhelming right now probably won't matter in a year. Let's let things just kind of blow over. Don't lean into the drama. Don't get sucked into everything that feels so emotional. And don't rebel for rebellion's sake. You know, maybe do some deep diving into why you feel resistant to something. Don't just say, you know, I'm not going to do that because someone in authority told you to. Let's like dig a little deeper and figure out what's really behind our, you know, our inclination to push back and understand that a little bit better. As far as place, we're in the graveyard. So this is that like spooky vibes. I'm thinking, you know, where things are laid to rest. What do we need to lay to rest? So maybe some of this drama and some of this resistance needs to just be put to rest and let it rest in peace. You know, we can visit it, we can pay homage, we can come check in on it, pay homage to it, but we don't need to be living with it all the time. So like I said before, sometimes things that die need to stay dead, and that's okay. So what things need to die, what things do you need to lay down and let go of? And then also the cauldron. How can we do some alchemy? What can we play with? What tools do we have at our disposal that we can use to kind of make this magic happen? Again, experiment, play around with it. You know, what sounds interesting, what sounds good, try something new, get witchy, which all Scorpios love to explore that dark side, that Pluto energy. So let's get into it and see what happens. All right. Moving on for Sag. I love my Sages. I've got two good friends who are Sagittarius, and they are honestly the most fun, adventurous people that are a good balance to some of our watery energy for us water signs. All right, let's do it. So clearing the deck for Sagittarius. What is going on with you this weekend? What can we gain insight around? Where can we get clarity? All right. Yay. Okay. So for character for Sagittarius, we have a demon. Uh-oh. The mountain, again, as far as place, and a broken heart. Okay. So to me, this is, you know, our inner demons. What is causing us, this is shadow work to me. This is, you know, what are we wrestling with on the inside? What's haunting us? What's causing us, you know, emotional distress, some internal struggle? And it really does, I feel like, in this context, this is more of scaling a mountain. This is a challenge that we have to face. And so don't shy away from it. It may feel daunting, but you know, it may feel like it's going to break your heart to deal with it. But the beautiful thing about a broken heart is that when you mend it, you come back so much stronger. And if you actually do the work of healing that broken heart, you will then have so much more compassion for others who've walked something similar. You will have a lot of strength and resilience that you didn't have before. If you think about like before, you know, when we're just starting to date, when we're in our teen years, early 20s, and you have that first broken heart, it feels like the worst thing ever. But then you move on and you realize, oh, that's so survivable. This is all survivable, and it will produce really good results. So don't shy away from it. So whatever is kind of in your mind that's haunting you, you know, causing some difficulty right now, do the work, scale that mountain. It will, you know, it may be challenging at times and it may be emotional, but ultimately you're going to get beyond it and it's going to be beautiful. So stick with us. All right, so that is Sagittarius. Let's move on to Capricorn. All right, whoop. Shuffling the deck for Capricorn. What do we have today for our Capricorn friends? Some insight, some wisdom, some clarity. Just inviting that in right now. All right. What do our Capricorn folks need to know? What insight can they use this weekend, this coming week? Just inviting that in. All right. Okay, we get the Explorer again for Capricorn. The place is heaven. Amazing. And the tool is the spatula. So, all right, so let's think about this. Again, Explorer, where can you have curiosity? Where are you going that you haven't gone before? How are you getting out of your comfort zone? What are you looking for? What's hitting me right now about Capricorn is that there's this like need to pursue and to look for something that you don't already have. Like we're out there hunting for something new to discover. So this can be really positive. Like it's good to look, it's good to pursue, but also don't just get stuck constantly looking for the next thing. Look at what you have, make sure you're taking stock in what is already available to you. Don't pursue blindly. Make sure when you're looking in the right directions, you're doing your pre-planning. You know, you wouldn't go exploring without a map and some tools, so make sure that you're doing that pre-work before you head out there. And I love that the place is heaven. So, you know, maybe you're already there. Maybe you're living in heaven and you're looking for things that, you know, you just need to chill out and look around you and realize that where you are is already heaven. Maybe you feel such a strong call to find this nirvana kind of enlightenment space. You know, where are you bringing this into your world? Even if it's just a small thing, like usually we always have issues in our life. There are always things we want to change and things we want to grow in, things we want to pursue. But where are things really good? Maybe focus on what's already really, really good. And instead of being distracted by always looking for the next thing, why don't we focus on what's working really well? And LOL, the spatula. So how do we use the spatula? They're great for flipping things over. So let's like see the other side of that coin. Let's flip it over. Maybe we've cooked enough on this side. We need to flip that pancake over and see, you know, if we can do some cooking on the other side. So this to me is very much about, you know, having the right tool. If you think about like frying an egg, how complicated that can be, how difficult that can be if you don't have the right tools. And so whether you're literally in the kitchen, whether you're trying to focus in on, you know, where things are good and looking at that side of that coin, focus on what's positive, what you already have. It's all about just flipping over, changing perspective. That's funny. I would love to hear if anybody gets an intuitive hit on the spatula and what that could be. Okay. So that's Capricorn. Moving in on Aquarians. Sorry that Aquarians and Pisces are always at the end. Maybe we should do this backwards sometimes just so we can put Pisces first every once in a while. Okay, so clearing for Aquarius. We love our Aquarian friends. They do so much good in this world. So just inviting clarity, insight. What do our Aquarians need to know? What do we need to know today? All right. Character, the repairman. Yep, you got to fix the whole world, don't you? Okay, and then we get heaven again. Amazing. And our tool is the tongue, which is a very powerful tool, absolutely. So, repairman. All right, what are you fixing? What is broken that you feel like you have to fix? Is this internal to you? Is this fixing stuff that's going on internally? Are you the one on call that everyone calls in and says, hey, I've got this problem, come fix it? Are you playing that role, Mr. Fix-It? Is that something you want to play? Is this, bringing this heaven-like mentality? Is this the role you want to be in? Because if it's not, it could be hell. So making sure that as you are deciding how to use your talent as a repairman, as a fixer, make sure that it's in alignment with your greatest good, that it's delivering, enlightenment vibes, that it's helping you on your journey to get closer to where you need to go so that you can feel enlightened. That's really critical here. And then the tongue. All right, so as a tool, this is how we taste. This is how we move food from, our mouth down to our esophagus, how we swallow. So this is a really, really powerful tool. The tongue brings a lot of pleasure. Again, it's how we taste, it's how we experience food. So I would say really connect with how you are experiencing joy and pleasure, especially paired with heaven. Have you ever eaten a meal and you're like, this is just pure heaven, eaten a dessert and it just feels like heaven? Instead of focusing on the fixing always, maybe just get into experiencing a little bit. Give yourself a moment to just experience what's good, what's working, what feels good, leaning into pleasure a little bit. We don't always have to stay in this mode. Even, every repairman has to take off their tool belt every now and again and, experience some rest and some joy and some pleasure. So definitely lean into that this weekend. Okay, we are down to our Pisces. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me with crazy dogs and a brand new deck. This one is a little bit hard to find. I think it's out of print right now. I actually had to order mine from England, and I paid like $20 in shipping to get it because I just felt such a ping that I needed it in my repertoire. And so I'd love to hear if you guys are into it, if this would be a cool thing to do in readings. Just let me know. All right, we're clearing for Pisces. We love our Pisces friends, asking for insight, intuition, clarity, wisdom to come through. What do our Pisces need to know? Oh, they're on that repairman situation as well. They are on an open road, and the tool that they get is the mirror. Okay. As you're fixing, as you're dealing with things, healing wounds, going into situations and being responsible, problem solving, figuring it out, being the one who's on the hook, remember that the road is open in front of you. The sky's the limit. This is like limitless energy. The path is clear. The path has literally been cleared for you. So maybe this is a sign that now is the time to go in and get some shit done. The road is wide open. But before you just go and, conquer the world, remember that everything is a mirror. That before you want to go jump into someone else's business, maybe look at your own. Maybe the reason why you feel so called to fix something is because you actually need to do some fixing inside of you. Maybe that external situation is really just a reflection of what's happening inside. So if you can take that approach, like everything is a mirror, know that the path is open for you to take action. You can move forward. There aren't obstacles in your way, so definitely go for it, but do a self-check first and make sure you're not inserting yourself where you don't need to be, and start on the inside. Start with fixing yourself first, and then, when you're invited in to offer insight and wisdom, if you want, if that feels aligned to you, feel free to do so, and know that it will be well received, because you've got this clear lane right here. Okay. That's what I have for today. We are done. Again, thank you for bearing with me. My name is April. I am a Wise Guys Intuitive, and you can book with me either Tarot or Akashic Records through the Wise Guys website. And I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.